Hey, what's up, Transtastic? It's Friday, it's Reed, and this week we're talking about frequently asked questions that we get as trans people. So the first thing I want to say is that every trans person is different, and just like every human being is different, not everyone is going to be comfortable with answering the same questions. So if you have a trans friend and you've asked them a question and they're open and they're like, yeah, sure, let's talk about that, and you find out that you have another trans friend or you meet another trans person, that person may not want to answer that question or they may feel comfortable. Everyone is different, and I would just establish boundaries if you are someone who is asking questions to a trans person before you ask the questions. That being said, here are some questions that I've gotten asked as a trans person. So before I started testosterone, I would get asked a lot, are you a boy or a girl? Many times this would come from children, and if it wasn't asked directly to me by a child, it would be asked to their parent in my presence in an audible tone so that I could hear them. Tone. I don't know what just happened. That was very awkward for me. I would be out in public and children would be staring, and then they would turn to their parents and say, Mommy or Daddy or whoever, is that a boy or a girl? And I would just be like, ugh, not again. Like, when is this gonna stop? So when I started T and I got further along in my transition, that sort of stopped. Children still stare at me because of my gauges, but I haven't been asked, are you a boy and a girl, in a very long time, so that's good. What bathroom do you use? I've gotten this actually quite a bit, and I don't know, it's just one of those questions that I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. Like, what would you think if you saw me in the women's room? Like, you would think something was off, right? Like, I don't know, that's just what I always say. Like if cis girls or cis women are asking me, like, what bathroom do you use? I'm like, what if I walked into your bathroom and you didn't know I was trans? Like, me being trans doesn't matter, but what if I did? What if I walked into your bathroom? Like, you would freak out and be like, like, get out, or, you know, whatever happens in the bathroom. But I don't know, that question confuses me. It's like, well, I'm a trans man, so I use the men's bathroom. I don't know. Was it hard to come out? This kind of question is like, I will talk about this with anyone. I will talk about my coming out experience and, you know, what it means for me to be trans and all that stuff, as long as it's coming from a respectful place, and not kind of like a circus sideshow type of place, you know? If people are respectful about it and they genuinely just want to get to know me and, you know, hear about my story, then cool. I'm more than willing to talk to people about that. And I have a couple videos about coming out to family and everything like that way back on my personal channel, so go check that out if you would like to see that. And other questions also tie into that, like, when did you realize you were trans? When did you start transitioning? Like, all those general questions are totally cool with me. Is your girlfriend a lesbian? I get this a lot, actually, and it doesn't really matter. No, but it just doesn't matter. Like, it's not relevant, and I'm also not a woman, so if you really want to put labels on people, for all intents and purposes, no. But yeah, I think people who are asking about that, it's not coming from a good place. It's coming from a place focused on, like, body parts, and I just, it's just not good to me. What's in your pants? This is my second to least favorite question that I get as a trans person, and it's none of your fucking business, okay? It's just none of your fucking business, because it's just not. Like, I don't ask you about your body, and just because I'm trans doesn't mean that you have the right to invade my personal space and ask me about my body. Like, it's my body. I don't know, I don't feel like I should have to be, I don't feel like I should be asked this ever, and I don't feel like I should have to say this to people, because it just seems so ridiculous when I'm saying that. It's like, duh, but people seriously ask me this, and I'm like, are you kidding me? My first least favorite question, I know that didn't really make sense, but let's just go with it, is how do you have sex? And I think this question shocks me every single time. Every single time someone asks me, it shocks me because, again, it's none of your fucking business. If you are having sex with me, then that is the only time that you should be asking me about that. And no other time. Like, one of my ex-coworkers from Starbucks, we were in the back room once with another person, and she was like, what's your sex like? Like, how do you have sex? And I was like, what? I was floored. I was like, totally, I didn't even know what to say. And I was like, oh, that's none of your business. And she was like, oh, come on, like, tell me, I want to know. And I was like, so? Like, okay, so you're, like, just entitled to know? Like, no. No. And then she was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get you drunk and make you tell me because I'm upset that you're not telling me. And it's just like, that kind of shit, it's like, who are you? Like, where's your head at? That is so beyond disrespectful. Like, I don't even have words for it. But those are the kind of questions that I get. And I just think that the more disrespectful questions come from a place of total ignorance and not even understanding anything about who trans people are and what they're about. And, like, I'm not a search engine, and that's what I always tell people, is if you are curious and genuinely want me to speak to my story, sure, maybe I'll tell you, depends on who you are and how we know each other and whatever, but I'm not a search engine. And these questions that you're asking me, you're really, like, just curious broadly, right? So it's not really about me. It's more of a broad ignorance and curiosity about trans people's bodies and sex lives, and everybody's different. So just because you know how I have sex doesn't mean that you know, like, that you've cracked the code or something. I just... I feel stupid saying these things because I feel like people should feel stupid asking them, but sometimes they don't, so... Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next Friday. Check out my personal channel for a video that I am posting about Caitlyn Jenner, and for a video next week, probably, that I'll be posting all my vlogs of Philly. I'm with Chase and other guys from the channel, and it's just, it's an exciting time. So stay tuned for that, go subscribe to me, and I'll see you all next Friday.